Once upon a time, I wrote a love story that ended in the way the Brothers Grimm intended, dark and deadly. Some days I don't know if I'm Snow White or the Evil Queen. I don't worry about the huntsman coming for my heart because I gave that away years ago. If any stranger kisses me while I'm sleeping, I'll punch him in the throat. Maybe my safe word will be magic because I keep chasing a fucking fairy tale where men actually pay attention to my words and keep their own. Honestly, I'm weak in ways that I will never forgive myself for. I surrender to your attention, I survive off of your scraps of compliments, swallow down my bittersweet belief that maybe you actually mean it, treat your inconsistency as a quirk and not a sign. I believed you when you said you liked me. I gave you the benefit of the doubt. I excused your lack of presence and interest. I never told you no. And worse, I let your half-assed interest impact my own sense of self. Maybe I'm not the body type you prefer. Maybe I'm too emotional. Maybe I'm not emotional enough. Maybe I don't text you enough, but you don't text me enough, and I'd rather hear your voice anyway. You said you like listening to my voice, but I wonder if it's like a song in a foreign language because I'm not sure you ever actually hear my words. Or maybe you just ignore them, like I ignore how you don't show up when you say you're going to. There's something poetic about how I fall in love with men who don't want me. And by poetic, I mean pathetic. And by pathetic, I mean transformative because I've regrown my own heart again and again after I handed it over for someone to destroy. Each time it grows back a little bit different. When future lovers ask me why I don't trust them, I'll just point to the scars you left in my psyche. That's not an excuse, it's just a fact. It still stings when you don't come over. It still stings when you don't call me. Whatever this non-relationship is killing me with this unspoken agreement that I have to destroy myself in order to let someone pretend to love me. I'm driving myself crazy, trying not to look crazy. Since when is it crazy to want something real? Part of me is relieved when you don't show up. It means I won't fall any deeper. It means I get a night of reflection and writing and the realization that I am the bad guy in my own story. I stopped chasing my fairy tale romance when I realized I am just as afraid of love as I am desperate for it. I don't know what would be worse, falling in love with you and watching you leave, or falling in love with you and having you stay. You hold back all the parts you don't want me to see. It only makes them more noticeable. I write poems about things I wish I could say to your face, but my guts only live in my fingers when I'm typing. I can't summon them to look you in the eye and ask you questions I don't want the answer to. Instead of calling you, I write an elegy to the way your lips felt against mine that first time. Instead of texting you, I relive every heartbreak I've ever endured to remind myself of why I can't love you. Later, when you're bored or you can't sleep or you finally remember I exist, you ask me what I'm writing. The end, I tell you, and I live happily ever after.